Who is Roger Clinton? Roger Clinton. Well, we all know Bill, and we know his wife, Hillary Clinton, who I don't actually believe is legally called Hillary Clinton. I think she's legally called Hillary Rodham. She may be documented as Hillary Rodham Clinton, but she certainly didn't want to change her name from Rodham to Clinton when she got married. She only started using the Clinton name habitually because it was beneficial to her politically. The Clinton name was beneficial. Now, Bill Clinton, apart from being tremendously intelligent and charismatic from birth, apparently, he was always incredible. He was wild, and he was actually a serious criminal. We could talk about that another time on the Power Hour, but Bill Clinton's entire life has been one long sequence of criminal activity and scandal. I don't mean Monica Lewinsky, that's a hobby. I'm talking serious criminal activity. And his brother, Roger Clinton, he was jailed in the 80s. He was sent to prison. And he went to prison, even though his brother was the governor of the state of Arkansas, a rural state in the south of the United States of America. If you don't know, it's pronounced Arkansas. And Bill Clinton was all powerful. He controlled the state of Arkansas completely, and his brother still had to go to prison. That's how strong the case was against him. And he didn't go to prison for possession. He went to prison for possession and distribution of cocaine. And what's curious about that as well is that Bill Clinton's best friend, childhood friend, who was always with Bill and Roger Clinton, was a guy called Dan Lasseter, who also went to prison in a different investigation for possession and distribution of cocaine. But Dan Lasseter in particular, but all of them, they weren't selling it. They were giving it away. They were giving it to young girls. That's what they were doing, and that's a documented fact. They both went to prison for it. And obviously they were doing that for sexual favours. They were inviting these young girls to toga parties and giving them cocaine. You're talking about ashtrays full of cocaine. Just take it, use it, because we want to give you cocaine and we want to get you hooked on cocaine. I mean, absolutely disgusting behaviour. If you're a father and you found out that some men were giving cocaine to your 14, 15, 16-year-old daughter, I think you'd have something to say about it. And that's what they were doing, and they both went to jail for it. And Bill Clinton was literally up to his nose in it. Literally. His brother, Roger Clinton, during the investigation, the police put a secret camera in his flat. And they filmed him. And he's talking about getting cocaine, and we've got to get some cocaine. And he says, we've got to get some coke for Bill. Quote, he's got a nose like a vacuum cleaner. And it is also a documented fact that Bill Clinton was admitted to hospital for cocaine abuse twice, and they kept him in for observation. It wasn't like he had a bit of a panic attack and they needed to calm him down and say, you're all right, Bill, just wait 20 minutes. No, they kept him in for observation. That's how much cocaine he had. He was major cocaine addict, Bill Clinton, in the 80s. And that's why his brother and his best friend, well, it's not why, but, he's part of that world, and his brother and his best friend both went to prison for that. Another one of his best friends, actually, Webster Hubbell, he went to prison for serious fraud. So if you go through the Clinton life story, all you find, really, is scandal and corruption and crime. But he was absolutely brilliant. Bill Clinton was tremendously intelligent. In fact, when he was a schoolboy, he was selected to go and meet John F. Kennedy, just to give you another little connection there. And he did, and he went, and you can look and you can see the photographs of the day when Bill Clinton was about 14, 15. And he's looking JFK straight in the eyes with a big smile on his face. He looks very confident. You know that when you see somebody meeting somebody so famous, who's more famous than JFK? Bill Clinton was not intimidated in the slightest. He was completely confident in the company of JFK, and you can see it clearly in the photographs. But many people, I hope, will be interested to learn, or maybe surprised to learn, that Bill Clinton has a brother that was convicted and sent to prison for cocaine distribution. And maybe they don't know that in 2001, at the end of Bill Clinton's time in the White House, the last thing he did was pardon several people, a very controversial list of people that he pardoned. And one of the people that he pardoned was his own brother. So he had that cocaine conviction, it's called expunged. So that does not exist now. I mean, you can go on Wikipedia and even they'll tell you that he went to prison for cocaine distribution, but it's not on his record. That's a felony. For most people, if you were convicted of a felony for cocaine distribution in America, that would stay on your record for the rest of your life. Not if your name is Roger Clinton, because your brother is Bill Clinton, and the last thing he does before he leaves the White House is erase that from your record. So legally, you were never convicted of, or that's the effect of it. You don't have that conviction on your record for being a drug dealer. So that's nice to have connections, and just a bit more of the typical Clinton corruption that we've seen.